Very good morning, everybody. I think we'll begin because it's now 10 o'clock on the dot. Um, First of all, a massive thank you to Krystal for joining us today. My name is Jonathan Whitehouse. You can see from my lovely photograph. I am based in Hong Kong and I look after global recruitment for University Bridge. So thank you everyone for joining us this morning. And we are delighted to have today one of our star students this year, Krystal, who's kindly agreed to join us and share a little bit about her experiences studying at University Bridge and about how you can get offers from top US universities. So, Anne, I'll let you introduce a bit.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. My name's Anne, and I'm a sales representative based in Ho Chi Minh City. And we are really love to introduce everyone about our student, Vietnamese student. Her name is Huệ Đình, and her English name is Krystal. And she got like around five acceptance letter from the top tier university like USC or UCLA. And we really hope to hear from her today to share about how University Bridge helped her to achieve her dream school. And Krystal, could you please share a little bit about yourself to our audience today?
Yes. So my full name is Huiting Yang, but you guys can call me Krystal. So I first landed in the US like everyone else with the big dreams to get into my dream school, which was UCLA at that time. So I joined multiple extracurricular clubs to boost my profile. But everything shifted when I was in grade 12. I got diagnosed with nephrotic syndrome, which was which is like a kidney disease. So I visited the hospital a lot and I missed out of class, and that affected my GPA. That's also explained why my GPA was not at its best when I applied to the UCs and also my other schools. Um, and after that, I did get into some universities, but I feel like I could do better. And that's when my two other friends who were already in UBridge introduced me to UBridge and I view it as a second chance for me to try harder. And just here I am.
Wow, that's great. So it sounds like it's not a perfect roadmap, but uh, when you have a chance to meet with University Bridge team and then they help you to become your like to get into your dream school right now.
Oke,
Yeah.
masa depan nggak lagi dihitung ya. Jadi pertama
Okay.
masa depan, yang
And
kedua kayak
before dive into Krystal journey, we would like to spend a few minutes to talk about the University Bridge to help every audience to better know about our service. So let's say like most of people will ask us like what is University Bridge and what is our role in order to support the student to get into their dream school. And University Bridge is like the service provider, and we will collaborate with 2-year colleges in order to get to maximize the chance for students to get into their dream school by going to the 2 years at community college and 2-year transfer to 2-year at top school in the US. And it sounds like University Bridge will add the extra service layer to all the students in order to get into their dream school. So we will focus mostly on like for the college, they will provide like academic curriculum and offer the transcript to the student. But during their 2 years at college, our advisor will add more service like help students to choose the course and also guide the student how to select the curriculum, the extra curriculum in order to maximize their chance to get into the UC, like top UC. And for the later information, maybe Krystal, she can share more about how UBridge helped her. Okay, and since UBridge started, we have like 81% students get into the top 40 since 2015. And as we all know that to get into UCLA or UC Berkeley, the change is around under 5% if we go directly to the UC Berkeley or UCLA. But however, through our program, the student can increase their chance to get into their top school. And for us, there are 81% to get into top 40, including UCLA, UC Berkeley. And right now we have Krystal who already got the UCLA accepted letter and in political science. As I know that is one of the competitive major, isn't it, Krystal?
Mm.
And next, move to the college care. Yeah. And for this, one of the key things to make students become different and become the most potential student to get into the top 40, because we will support students not only in academically and also in social or in like in their daily life as well personally, because students, maybe international students, when they study abroad, they will get confused and they're quite worried about their future, about their study plan. So that's why they need somebody who will support them one by one during their time with us in UBridge. So UBridge will help them to create a clear plan within 2 years how to maximize their chance to get into top 50. And also students need the guidance, like a very detailed guidance to support them every day. And even though when they have some like some personal issue like mental breakdown or something, also the advisor will come closer to the student to chit chat with them and also always be the one who always support the student to get through to that kind of the messy time in their life. So we just would like to focus on how University Bridge helps students to survive during the first 2 years at community college and maximize their chance to get into the top 40. And next to the next slide, move to the next slide, we would like to share with you about our like elite advisor. Mostly students, they will not know who they will get in touch during their first 2 years. But for us, the student will have the initial meeting before they fly to the US. And our advisor, they are mostly graduate from UCLA or UC Berkeley, like top 40. And they already understand how this pathway going, and they will share it to our students in order to maximize their chance to get into the top 40. Yeah. And what is the difference between UBridge and the direct college? That is, you will have your own personal advisor will guide you there during your first 2 years. And you also can have the personal study plan. And the key thing is like some students at the beginning, they will choose to study major in like business, but after like 1 or 2 courses of that major, they feel like they are not get into that anymore. So they change to another major. And that is how our UBridge advisor help them to build the personal study plan. And the important thing is like when you have the emergency situation like I-20 outdated or like or some kind like I remember last year they have the wildfire in Los Angeles, isn't it, Krystal? And
Yeah.
and we are in our country, and our advisor will help students in the US to interact with them directly and give them the lists of the evacuation places that help students to be safe first, and then they will give the parents and agent in their country the updated later by report. So it will help everyone in your own country and in the US feel safe. Yeah. Okay. So before we get to know more about Krystal, Jonathan, would you like to add more something about University Bridge
Yeah,
program to all the audience?
thank you. Thank you so much, Anne. That's very useful introduction to University Bridge. Just wanted to say that it's always fantastic to have students join us to share their experiences because ultimately the goal of the program is to help students get into the universities they want to get into. I mean, in the US, there are so many universities in the US to choose from, and one of the challenges in recent years is it is very hard to get in for year one. Very hard. I think many students try and many students get rejected. And even like very good students like yourself, Krystal, for year one, it's difficult to get in. It's difficult to get offers. I mean, I see all the time these students, and I wish more students would consider a 2+2 program. Sometimes parents have preconceptions about community colleges. They kind of worry. They think it's a tougher route. They think it's you will never get into a top university from there. But it's not true because we do see every year students getting the results they want, like UC Irvine, UCLA, UC Berkeley, Michigan, NYU, just to name some universities. So it's lovely when we see students who are actually successful. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to Krystal about her experience. So, Krystal, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and your academic background. Where did you study before you joined University Bridge?
Oh, I think I talked about this earlier, but I was in Cats Academy, Boston, and I decided to join UBridge after I received my university's decision, and I felt like I could do better because I was visiting the hospital frequently, and I missed a lot of class when I was in grade 12. So I want to rebuild everything and sort of like reset myself in a community college environment and apply to my dream schools once again.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Cats Boston's a very nice school. I'm very familiar with it. It's a nice part of the world to be, and it is tough because in high school, if you have any problems, you won't get what's required because it's very hard to get in. You've really got to do everything's got to be perfect, including the GPA. So it is tough. And actually, so you did the right thing. So you started again at University Bridge. Choosing the major is difficult for many people. You eventually chose political science. Tell us a little bit about how you chose your major, because I come across many students and they tell me, I don't know what I want to study, Jonathan. What do you think I should study? And I always tell them I'm not going to study it. So I studied Latin and Greek, which nobody else much has studied, which is quite interesting. So how did you choose political science, and did your advisor help you to choose your major?
Yes, so I started off as a business econ major actually. It was mostly my parents' choice because it seems like the safest path at that time. Because after I finished my degree, I would just go home and help them out with their business. But I've always knew that it's not really for me because I actually want to be a lawyer actually. And I brought that up a lot with Caitlin during our meetings. And I think she eventually got tired of it and she really just she told me that it's really your life, so just do whatever you want. It's not my parents' life. And it seems simple, but at that time I just really needed somebody to push me. So yes, after that I sort of changed my mind and I switched to political science. Yeah.
And I mean, how did your parents feel when you chose your major? Um,
um yeah, they actually against it at first, but yeah, I switched it. So I don't think there's anything else they can say.
that's interesting. That's interesting. Many years ago, one of the first students I ever helped go overseas to study, he was doing a business course and he didn't want to do business. He wanted to do philosophy. So he
Uh,
actually changed. He was in the UK on a course and he actually changed. He actually did philosophy. And when he graduated, he came back. This is a student in China. And I always remember he had a certificate, a graduation certificate, which said philosophy. And his parents still thought he'd studied business. They didn't actually realize until much later. But he got a first class degree. And actually, they're really, really proud and happy. But they only realized about 2 years after he graduated that he actually graduated in philosophy and not in business because they couldn't read English.
Oh
So,
my
yeah,
God. Okay.
interesting. But I mean, I'm glad that you found the right major in the end. And it is
Yeah.
sometimes difficult. I think your situation is not unique. There's lots of other people who have that kind of challenge. And it is important to study the thing you want to study because you will do better at it, really. It's very hard to study something that you don't enjoy. Um, okay, so studying in community colleges, there's lots of people who have preconceived ideas about the academics, the facility. Um, how would you describe the kind of the classes, the academic rigor at, at the college? How did you find the classes?
I feel like it's pretty similar to the classes that I had when I was in high school. And the professors here are actually really supportive and friendly. They actually gave you a lot of chance to boost your GPA. And as for and there's also a lot of clubs as well, clubs and extracurricular for you to join. And because you're in a community college, there's a lot of students around you with a similar goals. So I feel like it's also really easy for you to get helpful tips from them as well. Yes.
That's great. And how did you maintain such an outstanding GPA? Because clearly you have quite a lot of classes to do, you're doing extracurricular activities, you're doing quite a lot of things. How did you manage to maintain your GPA so well? Because some students tell me it's very, very difficult to maintain their GPA.
I feel like time management is really the key because I have a habit that after every class, when there's an assignment or anything, I'll just bullet point and I would just put their deadlines next to it. So it's easy for me to manage and keep up with all the assignments. Um, yes, I feel like assignments, just complete your assignments and pay attention in class, and that's how you will just achieve an outstanding GPA. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Um, so looking back, you've completed years 1 and 2, you're transferring next this coming fall into year 3. What were the biggest challenges you faced? They can be academic or personal or both. And how did you overcome these challenges? I think a lot of people find they have challenges with some of the classes. Some students struggle with calculus, for example. Um, what did you feel were your biggest challenges?
I feel like my biggest challenges would be time managing for virtual classes because I get easily distracted when especially like winter course, it's like shorter term. So like the class tended to be fast in really fast paced. So and since it's winter time, so like I often hang out with my friends, so I get really easily distracted. And yeah, that's why my winter classes didn't get as high as my fall and spring courses class. And the way for me to overcome it really just to like complete all the assignment before I work on other tasks. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, Extracurricular activities. The wonderful thing about studying in the US is the choice of activities, but what extracurricular activities did you do and how did these benefit you for your applications? I mean, I know some students do activities related to their major, and some students just like to do activities they enjoy, like sports.
Yes, so I stayed in the US for the summer actually to work on my internship and also my volunteer, and they actually related to my major. So for the internship opportunity that I had is um, an judicial intern at the LA Superior Court. I get to stay in the court and see and observe the proceedings. And it's also a precious opportunities to talk to a lot of judges and also lawyers to see to listen to their experience and really get like a small counseling session with them to see like what would it be like if I become a lawyer. And the other volunteer opportunity that I have is become a translator for Progress Foundation, which is um, a nonprofit organization which focus on breaking the language barriers. So I translate from English to Vietnamese, English to Chinese, and those opportunities really shape my essays because it's related to my major, and I that's also benefit a lot um, my profile. Yeah.
That's really great. That's really, really, really good use of the time. I think for a lot of people, using their holidays are quite important. I think that's definitely true. Um, your UB advisor, Caitlin, she clearly played a very big role. What was probably, do you think, were the most memorable ways she supported you and guided you over the 2 years? I mean, she's obviously was a graduate of UCLA and an extremely good student. So how did she help you?
Yeah, so once again, back to my virtual classes. Um, Long story short, I missed the deadline for the final exam, which was mostly my fault. And I called and I emailed the professors like I did everything I could, but I think he was busy. So like I was pretty devastated at that time. So I texted Caitlin. I think she was pretty booked on that day, but I think she had like a 30 to 1 hour break and she told me to hop on Zoom and we solve things out. We look into um maybe um, requesting a pass, no pass for that course, or even put it as in progress. But eventually, everything worked out. The professor did reply, and he did give me a second chance, but I have like 50% of penalty, but that's also worked out.
Okay, well, that's good. I know a lot of people have that problem actually sometimes. It does happen. Yeah. Okay. And how about with the transfers? Did she give you lots of help with the essays and that kind of thing?
Yes, that's really the whole point of me joining UBridge because we get to meet weekly and go over our essays, and we can also because I also joined another activities in SMC, which is um sorry, it's like a talk show, I believe, and she advised me on putting it also in my profile just to boost it. Yeah, which I didn't know.
That's great. So, you applied to many top universities, UCLA, USC, Michigan, each with its strict deadlines. How did you manage to manage your time and manage to get everything in correctly and on time? Because quite a lot of applications, because when you apply to Michigan, it's different to applying for the UCs, for example. How did you manage to get them all done on time and also successfully? Congratulations, because getting offers from Michigan, USC, UCLA is very, very difficult. Very difficult. How did you manage it? That's quite a challenge.
Thank you. So me and Caitlin have like a shared documents. That's where she put all the important deadlines and also the required materials I need to submit on time. And because we meet one-on-one every week, so she had a lot of she get to remind me a lot of things to finish before the deadlines, but it's also about I also need to keep up with it as well. Like not just Caitlin reminding me, but I also need to focus on finishing things on time. That's basically it.
Yeah, because it's very easy to get behind. And if you're not careful, then you won't get everything in on the deadline. The deadlines are pretty firm. I've come across students who submit them like 5 minutes before the deadline before,
That's
which is that's a bit crazy because everybody knows that if you submit things online, the websites can crash the last 10 minutes or so because there's too many people trying to do stuff. So that's great. So you did extremely well. You got everything in on time. That's
yes.
amazing. And then you successfully got the offers. That's also amazing. Um, so now you've got the choices. You just said earlier you're going to join USC. What are your future goals? What would you like to do in the future?
So for now, I was planning to, after I finish USC, I was planning to stay here for a year to, for OPT. And after that, and during that 1 year, I get to experience work life and I will also um, try to study for the LSAT. And hopefully after that, I would get into another university for my JD. Yes.
Any ideas of which university you'd look to? Any?
Well, UCLA, USC, their law schools are pretty competitive, but yes, we'll see how it goes.
Well, you've done well the first time with the applications, so I'm sure next time can be equally as exciting. So I think a lot of students do want to go to UCLA, UC Berkeley, USC, Michigan, lots of different universities. Um, you know, but they sometimes there's a lot of students they're uncertain, they're overwhelmed. There's a lot of students actually I come across who applied this year for UCLA or UC Berkeley and didn't get in, and they're very disappointed. Um, what would you what would you tell them about University Bridge having the advisor? How can it help them make this come true? Because for many students, sometimes they'll actually just give up on the dream and just choose a university they can get into in the US, somewhere ranked around 100 to 200. They'll give up on the UCLA, UC Berkeley dream, which I feel is a shame because 2 years later, like yourself, they can be sat there with the offer and have the choice. So, what would you tell them about how the University Bridge advisor would help them with that?
Exactly. So I feel like since since UB advisors already lined out all your schedules for the next 2 years, basically like telling basically all the course you need to take and what classes are suitable for you. So I feel like the only thing that they need to focus on, which is just to focus on the GPA and other things that UB advisor would take care for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to a large extent the challenge people face is mapping out the 2 year plan and getting the correct credits. And also, I think for some people, they also don't realize that you've got to do it correctly because if you don't have the right credits, you won't get in, depending on your major.
Yeah.
I've come across students before in Hong Kong who've got 60 credits and they can't transfer. They get refused on tag and they come to me and ask me why. And it's often just because they haven't got the right credits for their major. It's quite simple. They just haven't done it correctly because it does involve a lot of extra detail. And the UBridge advisor will help you with that and make sure you have the right courses for your major and everything else. Okay. Thank you so much, Krystal. Anybody would like to add any questions? We were happy to take questions. People can type them in the chat or they can ask us a question.
Oh, I have one question for Krystal. Like similar quite to the question that you asked earlier. Like we know that you already got admitted to University of Michigan and UCLA, which is top ranked school. And we just would like to ask you, if some student they are hesitating to join with UBridge, what is your advice to push them to choose UBridge and instead of choose to go directly to university or directly to college?
Um, okay, so
Any,
for me, oh, sorry.
yeah, like feel free to share. Like,
Okay. So for me, what really pushed me to joining UBridge was getting a one-on-one counseling with an advisor, and we get to meet every week to go over things. And she also remind me on things that I didn't know or I forgot. Um, and one of the biggest thing, which is going over the essays, because I didn't get that when I was in high school because the counselor was busy helping too many students. That's why having a personal advisor really polished our profile and increased our chance to get into top tier universities.
Thank you. So I think that sharing is really helpful for some students. They are hesitating to choose UBridge, or they will try to get all things to get into the university. Yeah. So I think we have one question from the audience. Okay, so I will read it out loud. Is there any specific college for a certain university, like, for example, Yale or Harvard? I think, Jonathan, can you help?
Yale and Harvard transfer students getting in is very difficult. Harvard, I believe, do not accept transfer students. Columbia is possible. People have got offers from Columbia this year. Michigan, we mentioned, is possible. UCLA, UC Berkeley, USC are all possible. Harvard and Yale, I'm going to be really honest and say it's almost impossible. I never want to shatter dreams, but for this, that really is a big ask to get in. We don't think most of our students apply for those. They apply for Columbia and places like that, though, and NYU and Boston University, definitely. So if you're looking for Harvard or Yale, yes, or you can look to them for your master's later. If you get a bachelor's from USC or UCLA or UC Berkeley, you can apply to Harvard or Yale for a master's. People assume that you won't get in, but it's actually once you've got a bachelor's degree, you'd have a very good chance. Certain colleges for certain universities, yes. Irvine Valley College, if you're looking for UC Irvine, is a good choice because they're close together. They've got a very good link up. Santa Monica's got a good link up with UCLA. And I'd say San Mateo probably for UC Berkeley. And Shoreline, our other partner in Seattle, has a link with the University of Washington. So if you want a summary, and of course the Virginia campus, PVCC in Virginia, has got a link to University of Virginia. So those are the kind of ones that go together. But Harvard and Yale, yes, apply directly, but good luck. It's very, very, very tough. But I always tell people, dream big. You can try. If you're not successful, you can. The University Bridge route is great because it will get you into a top 30 university. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? The preparation start from high school. Yes. Basically, if you want to go to Ivy Leagues or top US universities, you have to prepare from high school. You have to prepare from year 9, and you have to do a lot of extracurricular activities. You have to document everything. It's very, 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 very tough. I mean, sometimes we do sessions on top US universities and how you apply. We have done sessions on those, and we're running another one in the coming months, which we'll invite everybody to, explaining the difference between direct and UBridge. So San Mateo would be UC Berkeley, Santa Monica for UCLA, and Irvine Valley College for UCI. Okay. So Krystal, I just have one final question. How did you feel when you got your offers? Did you feel shocked? Did you feel surprised? Did you feel delight? How did you feel?
I felt shocked because I never would have thought that I would go into those universities.
I mean, which offer did you get first? Michigan, I think.
Yes, Michigan.
When you got the Michigan offer, I was extremely impressed because Michigan is an out-of-state school. And I was like, wow, that is good. That's a very good school.
Yeah.
And then you got the others. I was like, I mean, USC is also very, very difficult.
I was shocked.
But it means you can do anything you want with good organization, good time management, and hard work. Anything is possible. And I think that's the message I always want to share with students and everybody, is that people should have a dream and people should try and make the dream come true. And if you give it everything, it can come true. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to get into those universities. So many, many congratulations, Krystal. That's great. And before we go, any last questions? If I get no reply, I'll take that as no. Okay. Okay, so we just got a last question for you, Krystal. What career are you aiming for in political science? You said law, I remember.
Yes. I want to become either an immigration lawyer or business lawyer. Yeah.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Well, we wish you every success at USC, and please do keep in touch. Please keep
Thank
in
you.
touch with Hian and Anne in Vietnam, and next time you're back, let them know. They'll be happy to have dinner with you. And thank you so much for supporting our webinar today. We do appreciate. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We wish everyone a nice day. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anne, as well.
Thank you, everyone. Wish you a wonderful day.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you, Krystal. Enjoy the
Yeah.
evening.
You too.